The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization effort within their environment and spheres of influence. I similarly urge all eligible Nigerians to present themselves and be vaccinated in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
This vaccine is safe and it has been certified safe and usable by NAFTA.
From dusk to dawn, 24 hours a day, NTA International is with you in your living room, office, everywhere and anywhere. We provide the company you desire in terms of balanced and up-to-date news, programs and the best of entertainment. Tune in to DSTV channel 251, GoTV channel 91, Freeview UK channel 264, or you can download www.visiontv.co.uk. App for iOS or Android. You can also see us on Facebook and YouTube for quality content on the go. NTA International, Africa's window to the world.
Promises to share out. Winds up that right hand. Archbishop of basketball, goal! He hung on that net like a stalk up a tree.
NTA Sports 24 brings you all sports, all time and all day. Tune in to watch NTA Sports 24 on Star Times Channel 270, Star Sat on Channel 434 and Free TV on Channel 731. NTA Sports.
Never get this kind of thing or I hear it. Abuja Intra-Projects Agency then called me because we are partner with them. They say we should come. There is a survivor fund that the government wanted to give technicians.
They capture everybody, including food seller in my own workshop.
When my chairman called me that there is parity something, that I should come and take my cash off, the money now come, and that money helped me a lot. As a widow, where there is no husband. So it's this thing that I used to help myself, and that money helped me and pay some of my children's school fees.
You don't reach almost 2015 or I hear it.
It is only this government.
It's another beauty. President Muhammad Buhari has performed the groundbreaking ceremony of the Kano-Kaduna railway project. This infrastructural development is the third phase of major rail projects traversing the country and is part of the strategic plan of the present administration to revitalize the transport sector and to boost the nation's economy.
It marks another milestone in the realization of Nigeria's railway system and is as well as a giant leap towards realization of the common interest of our two nations.
This significant infrastructure project is a clear indication to the Buhari-led administration commitment to promoting trade and commerce as well as creating great employment opportunities among our teeming youth in Nigeria.
This project will link the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, with the commercial city of Kano, and also link the ongoing Kano-Maradi project. The outstanding addendum, Ibadan to Abuja, will link the seaports in Lagos to Maradi between the two countries and foster economic development.
It is not surprising that several landmarks have been achieved. 2016, to the recent commissioning of Lagos to Ibadan railway project on June 10, 2021, thereby maintaining the phase for the actualization of this vital thoroughfare.
Upon completion of the multi-billionaire Kano-Kaduna rail in Niger Republic. The commencement for the construction of the Kano-Kaduna railway project has rekindled hope for the commercial hub of Nigeria, Kano State, with a groundbreaking ceremony.
The ancient city of Kano, center of commerce for centuries, has been an establishment of the Kano railway station in 1914. It is a narrow gauge. The train became hectic as long hours were spent and gradually came to a stop with abandoned wreck of coaches and wagons.
Railway started having some issues in 1980s. There's no movement of passengers. They are doing
with modern stations.
Having a battle with the contractor. He's asking for a minimum of 12. The contract says 3 years. He's asking for a minimum of 24 months to finish. We are saying no, 18 months. Well, see, yeah, 24 months will terminate. 24 months will terminate in December. In June next year, and Port Harcourt, Maiduguri. We are going to also launch Lagos Calabar.
The 203-kilometer project is a section of the Lagos-Kano rail line down to Maradi in Niger Republic. It is an important part of the West Africa Railway network aimed at connecting the ECOWAS states.
Over 30 trailers can be moved by one train at a time, and I can move this within 6 hours from point A to point B.
With this project, hope has come alive for the people.
Very happy, at least that this project is extending to Kano to reduce the risk of traveling all the way from the seaports.
When there's rail system running well, it assists the economy of the country to grow better.
Improving the economic base, it will also impact on the employment of youths.
The federal government has inaugurated 4 standard gauge rail lines across the country, with the Lagos-Ibadan being the latest. Oyinaya Kalu Oka, NTA News.
Courts in place nationwide as part of efforts at ensuring a hate-free movement before, during and after the Salah celebration in the country. Court Public Education Officer Bisi Kazim stated this while speaking with newsmen on preparations for Eid al-Kabir Festival. Oyeyemi Ajayi has details.
Festivities are always characterized with high vehicular movement. To many, the period provides an opportunity for people to visit their loved ones, friends and families, especially those they have not seen for long. But to some, like the personnel of the Federal Road Safety Corps and other essential services workers, the period is for high alertness with much responsibility of providing more services to ensure smooth celebration. In line with this mandate, the FRSC had deployed personnel and equipment to parts of the country, and this time around, traffic defaulters will not be spared as they will face the full wrath of the law.
We want to use of phone while driving, speed violation, facing oncoming traffic, which is known as one way, driving under the influence of alcohol, and for commercial vehicles, speed limiting device.
With many routes identified as black spots, the Corps has commenced sensitization at motorparks, emphasizing the need to drive within standard speed limits. Aside the interagency patrol and security, the Corps will also be using body cameras for the first time to apprehend assaulters as well as corrupt officers on the highways. The special patrol commences from 16th July to the 25th day of the same month. In Abuja, Oyeyemi Ajayi, NTA News.
The House of Representatives has ordered the Federal Minister of Transportation to uncover the causes of arbitrary increase in transport and resolved to take action. Abdullah Mohammed reports.
Motor Park, Abuja. Yelling by one of the park attendants. The passenger is king at this time. Most of the buses waiting for passengers. But when festivals approach, the table turns. Travelers troop to the park, sometimes outnumbering the available buses. This is when the drivers hike the fares, taking advantage of several other factors which stakeholders put on the table at the meeting.
The activities of the union, the transport union, and the activities of the touts on the roads, the activities of the traffic officers.
They will not like to run at a cost. They will tell you anytime fuel goes up, their price goes up. They complain about taxations.
Put our heads together and find a solution to this nagging problem, because it's been there for years and we want to really bring it down to the barest minimum, if not total eradication.
With this approach, stakeholders say travelers for festivals may heave a sigh of relief. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
The House of Representatives Thursday stepped down the presentation of the harmonized report on the petroleum industry bill. The report of the conference committee was part of the items slated for consideration and adoption, but was later stepped down for commencement of plenary to the percentage for host communities, which, as reported from the Senate, was agreed at 3% during the meeting of the joint conference committees of the two chambers. The House had last week passed the PIB, allotting 5% for host communities. Senate is at the moment considering the report of its committee on the 2010 Electoral Act Amendment Bill, which recommended mandatory use of card reader. Let's now join Ignatius Nkwo for an update.
Well, the Electoral Act Amendment Bill is under consideration at the Senate. At the moment, senators are considering the amendment bill clause by clause. And in fact, the Senate had already considered the section that seeks to make use of Electoral Act provides that the Electoral Commission may adopt the use of electronic means for transmission of results. The Deputy Chief Whip of the Senate, Senator Sabi Abdullahi, now raised the point of order for an amendment. And now his amendment says that provided that the Nigerian Communications Commission will adjudge national coverage to be adequate and secure, and then that decision must be approved by the National Assembly before they can use electronic means for transmission of results. But that did not go well with some senators, as Senator Albert Bassi now raised the point of order, making his own amendment, trying to revert back to what the original provision said by deleting what Senator Sabi Abdullahi said. And then when these were put to a vote, the Senate rejected the motion by Senator Albert Bassi and that of Senator Sabi Abdullahi by the Senate. Clauses as well.
Reports reaching us has it that the Senate has passed the 2010 Electoral Act Amendment Bill. You're watching Nationwide on NTA. Time now to join Mike.
Hello, Elizabeth. Our Customs Service has arrested 23 suspects in connection with 144 seizures from April to date. Most stopping among the items seized is the interception of 122,000 liters of petrol en route Benin Republic. This looks like a scene from a mini depot with thousands of jerry cans awaiting the nozzle. But in the real sense of it, they are the outcome of the customs anti-smuggling drive seized while being transported with 1,640 jerry cans of 25 liters were intercepted on the 9th of July this year along the coastline within the Seme-Badagry axis of Lagos State. 4 suspects were arrested in the process.
This volume of PMS was meant to be smuggled to Benin Republic, if not the vigilance of our own operatives. Information from members of the public. Our operatives are always ready.
Dealing with the problem of concealment is a huge task, but not with this particular vehicle containing Indian hams, carefully packed like clothing or personal items. In fact, the occupants of the vehicle disguised like passengers until the customs caught up with them at Idiroko.
This very content is also being brought down here with a suspect.
The feat was achieved through aggressive confrontation with smugglers, especially in volatile areas like Oyo and Idiroko axis, where smuggling is considered a legitimate business. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police says more arrests have been made in connection with the murder case of the Super TV CEO, Osifo Ataga. The Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosun, stated this while parading more than 1,000 suspected armed robbers and cultists in Lagos. Annie Daniels reports that the commanders also leaving nothing to chance in ensuring the safety of lives and property of Lagosians.
Given an update on the matter, Commissioner of Police Hakeem Odumosu advised members of the public to discountenance the viral video of Chidinma where she recanted and denied having a hand in the death of the Super TV CEO, Osifo Ataga.
So the third after arrest that their video was. So they just brought it out now. It's not the recent one now that he has. But people are saying that, Chidinma, they saw her, are we portraying her as a celebrity? So having this, having that one now, for God's sake, as a suspect, fundamental human rights still exist.
Odumosu revealed that from the month of May till date, 66 armed robbers and 7 cultists were arrested, and 72 cultists were rearrested. He says 1 kidnap case and 47 murder cases were recorded by the command, while 4 armed robbers lost their lives during encounters with security forces. And sadly, the command lost one of its officers.
Recently, the command established some tactical units to conform with and tackle the new dimensions of social vices in the states. To be due to general appraisal of the security of the state and robust gathering, the command has embarked on constant raids of flight points where miscreants who terrorize the tackled.
Odumosu says the strategy put in place has also translated to the recovery of 110 arms, 125 ammunition, 18 vehicles, and the falling of 46 armed robbery incidents across the state. One of the suspects confessed to have engaged in buying and refurbishing of stock. The Commissioner of Police says the suspects will be charged to court, adding that the command has enough facilities to keep them behind bars and avoid the spread of COVID-19 while in custody. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Time now for some messages. The news continues shortly. Please stay.
Artisan Foundation All Students Association, Rofosa, felicitates with their father and benefactor, His Excellency Dr. Ole Anai Rocha Sakorocha, GCSI OON, on the well-deserved occasion of his coronation as the Maga Al-Herin Hausa from the revered Daura Emirate, and conferred on him by the Emir of Daura, His Royal Highness Alaji Dr. Umar Farooq Umar, CON. Sir, this rare honor, which signifies the great giver to the Hausa people, is a culmination of your selfless, unrelenting, and great humanitarian activities to over 25,000 indigent children, particularly in northern Nigeria, and Africa at large, and also your sustained and unalloyed solidarity to the leadership and activities of His Excellency, President Muhammadu Buhari. Thank you, dear Daddy, for giving us back our humanity as we pray for heavenly blessings and mercies upon you and all that you stand for. Thank you once again, And congratulations, sir.
Belongs to those who leverage on digital innovations. Digital Peers International presents DigiTest Online 2021, an online summer camp that brings ages 8 to 18 together across Nigeria, Canada, US, and more countries. Theme: Digital Skills, Pathway to Prosperity. Date: 8 to 16 August 2021. At DigiTest, kids and teens will unearth their potential to create digital products with possibilities of making profits online. Participation would be virtual with few physical non-residential at the DigiTest Center, Abuja, and we all enjoy a level playing field to compete with students across the globe. Lots of prizes to be won. Give your kids an opportunity of a lifetime today for only 5,000 Naira for virtual and 20,000 Naira for physical. To register, visit our website at www.digitalpeers.org/digitestonline2021 or call 08077823307 or 08077823308.
Dear compatriots, our country can be as great as we want.
Let us all commit ourselves to its greatness.
We must be willing to set aside our differences, unite and stay as one.
In our expansive landmass, human and material resources, and plurality lies our strength.
Let our challenges lead us to rediscover our common ground, and together, let's find solutions.
This will take some time, so it requires patience, tolerance, and forgiveness from every one of us.
Let all hands come on deck to protect and transform our country.
Let us unite and see each other not as adversaries, but as brothers and sisters.
Together, we can build a better Nigeria for ourselves and for the next generations.
This message is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency, NOA, with support from Nigerian Television Authority, NTA.
A new edition of TV Guide is out exclusively with Governor Simon Lalong of Plateau State.
Since assuming office, our rescue administration has pursued the path of peace and reconciliation and restored confidence among people of different ethnic, religious, and political persuasions. Peace is back on the plateau. We are building world-class infrastructure in roads, schools, hospitals, water, energy, and opening up opportunities for innovation, entrepreneurship, and job creation for thousands of our youth through quality education.
The edition is a compendium of mind-blowing stories for your reading pleasure, ranging from entertainment, economy, sports, media, politics, family, and lots more. Pick up a copy and keep abreast with issues and trending features within our space. TV Guide, very incisive, very educative and compelling. Grab a copy at the vendor near you or any NTA station nationwide. TV Guide, your indispensable companion.
Thanks for staying with us. The federal government has inaugurated a joint coordination committee that will work with the Russian Federation towards peaceful use of atomic energy in the country. The committee is a follow-up to bilateral agreements between Nigeria and Russia on the application of nuclear power. Mitari reports.
At the Russia-Africa Summit in October 2019, President Buhari and President Putin agreed to leverage on Russia's expertise to develop Nigeria's nuclear energy potential for improved electricity supply and industrial growth. This expanded and reconstituted Joint Coordination Committee with members drawn from Nigeria's atomic and nuclear regulatory agencies has the mandate of working with Russian experts to set in motion the processes of constructing a nuclear power plant in Nigeria.
To work hard and to make sure that the interest of Nigeria is paramount and to ensure that Nigeria plays its role in the implementation of the various elements of the agreement. And finally, to have a unity of purpose during negotiation in order to ensure that Nigeria is not defrauded in the implementation of the agreement.
The GSCC can now decide what is good for Nigeria, can review the agreements and see which way can we follow to make sure that we optimize the memorandum of understanding between us and Russian Federation.
And we are guided by the need to ensure safety of Nigerians and our environment.
Nigeria acknowledges that development of its first nuclear power plant requires partnership with countries like Russia, which has deployed and operated nuclear power plants for decades. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA.
The challenges posed by the COVID-19 pandemic have continued to disrupt the technical and vocational education and training sector. Olayinka Ojo in this report examines the priorities of a sector post-COVID-19 world as the world celebrates this year's World Youth Skills Day.
Skills acquisition, most especially for youth in nations like Nigeria, is critical in addressing the challenges of unemployment and underdevelopment. And according to the National Bureau of Statistics, 23.18 million Nigerians are unemployed, representing 33.3% of the population.
We must deploy our collective efforts towards the development of a workforce that is highly educated, skilled, creative, and innovative.
With education and training system yet to return to pre-crisis condition in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, this year's celebration aims at celebrating the resilience and creativity of youths throughout the crisis.
We are privileged to have our face masks tested in the Standard Organization of Nigeria lab.
Emmanuel Obute, a graduate of Theatre and Performing Arts from University of Ilorin, is a photographer. And this act of taking pictures has become his source of livelihood.
I saw a gap, and I felt instead of going to work for someone, why don't I develop myself and set up something?
Many graduates roam the streets in search for white-collar jobs that cannot cater for the teeming youth population.
Service called Transform. We also help to make skill acquisition and technology development side program more functional and provide startup capital for all entrepreneurs.
The United Nations General Assembly in 2014 declared 15th July as World Youth Skills Day to celebrate the strategic importance of equipping young people with skills for empowerment, decent work, and entrepreneurship. Olayinka Ojo, NTA News.
The Nigeria Governors Forum has approved a common template for the implementation of a Memorandum of Action for Judicial Staff Union of Nigeria and the Parliamentary Staff Association of Nigeria. Abubakar Usman Akwanga reports that this was part of the communique drafted at the end of its 32nd teleconference.
The consensus was reached at the end of a meeting held by State Attorney Generals and Commissioners of Finance on the directive of the forum. The forum also supports the unbundling and commercialization of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation and recommends its ownership by the three tiers of government. NGF expresses concern with certain proposed amendment to the Postal Service Bill 2021 and seeks removal of powers to collect stamp duties by relevant tax authorities. NGF says it will soon take position on the planned privatization of assets of the Niger Delta Power Holding Company, which is currently on the list of Bureau for Public Enterprises. The forum is sustaining efforts in the implementation of state financial transparency, accountability, and sustainability to bridge infrastructure gap. The Nigerian Governors Forum pledges to reactivate COVID-19 protocols and strengthen non-pharmaceutical measures against rising cases of COVID-19 new variants in the country. In Abuja, Abubakar Usman Akwanga, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari is scheduled to inaugurate Zobe Regional Water Supply Scheme in Dutsima, Katsina State today. WASH correspondent Musbat Dan Wahab reports that this is a major success of the federal-state partnership under the National Urban Water Sector Reform Program.
Zobe Regional Water Supply Scheme was one of the abandoned projects dotting the country under successive administrations.
This project was started in 1992. It went through so many administrations and for a long time it was abandoned. We were able to get it back.
In an idea of whose time has come, the project was favored by the policy of the government of the day to continue and complete ongoing projects. But the Water Resources Ministry needed the commitment of Katsina State government.
For the benefit of the people of Katsina State.
there is a new development, which is a kind of partnership agreement between federal government and state government to complete and finish projects. This is novel.
The message was clear: no excuse to default. 3 years after, Zobe Regional Water Supply Scheme, with its treatment plants installed with necessary components, has started to breathe life into Katsina, Dosima and its environs.
The total installed capacity of this water treatment plant is 75,000 cubic meters per day. But as it is now, they are only benefiting 50,000 cubic meters per day.
Currently, 3 local governments are enjoying, the water supply from Zobe water scheme, and the other local governments are underway. The state government is going to reticulate the system.
This project is one of the 41 ongoing water supply projects prioritized, out of which about 20 have been completed. In Abuja, Musbal and Wahab, NTA News.
The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has approved Moderna, AstraZeneca from Korea and Sputnik V vaccines for use and licensing in Nigeria. Director General NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeye, stated this while briefing the media in Abuja. Haman Germany reports.
The approval of Moderna and AstraZeneca vaccine and conditional approval of Sputnik V vaccine by National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, follows the stringent approval by regulatory countries who have received WHO's emergency use listing. The agency said it spent at least 15 days to thoroughly examine the dossier or submission package of each of the vaccine to ensure that the benefits of the vaccine far outweigh the risks and any side effect is well noted for monitoring after vaccination by respective NAFDAC and primary health officers, while conducting safety and monitoring studies on the vaccine to record the side effects and adverse effects following immunization.
Other studies like immunological responses, incidences of reactogenicity, and possible dose optimization will be done in a cohort of vaccinees. NAFDAC also plans to use the traceability with GS1 technology to monitor the vaccine distribution using Global Trade Item Number, GTIN.
The agency said it will be using its recently launched MedSafety app for effective pharmacovigilance of the vaccine in collaboration with respective sister agencies. The app is free and millions of healthcare workers can download it free for adverse drug reaction reporting. Hamad Jabani, NTA News.
Still on COVID-19 vaccines, guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria have called for urgent production of vaccines locally, more advocacy, upscaling of COVID-19 tests and proper enforcement of safety protocol across the nation in view of the virulent nature of the Delta variant. Thomas Obetere reports.
Almost when the world was making headway on COVID-19, with the production of vaccines which is expected to pave way for the return to normalcy, the world is again taken aback by the emergence of the Delta variant of COVID-19. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria say there is need to take more precautionary measures like restriction of movement in and out of Nigeria through strict border surveillance, acquisition of more oxygen at designated centers, more vaccines, strict adherence to NDDC non-pharmaceutical protocol, and the social mobility of citizens need to be checked.
The Delta variant causes more of runny nose, cold-like symptoms, some form of headaches, and sore throats.
The Delta variant actually is a variant of COVID-19 that was first identified in India, and we've seen how devastating the pandemic has been in that part of the world, and largely it is attributed to this particular variant, which has more transmission rate, it is more transmissible, and also is more virulent.
In fact, we have piped oxygen to the treatment center, and we have established a high-density area where you can manage severe cases. This datum, about 300 beds, is also in place.
Guests also suggested the need to facilitate reopening of some closed isolation centers to to be manned by experts, and production of vaccines in Nigeria. Guest explained that while government is making efforts at making vaccines available for all, citizens must reciprocate by getting vaccinated. In Abuja, Thomas Ogbetere, NTA News.
It's time to join Mohammed in our Maiduguri studio for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you and welcome to Maiduguri. Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Mustafa Ahmed Habib says scaling up intervention, especially in the area of provision of supplies to internally displaced persons, is an issue of priority that will be looked into within the shortest possible time towards ensuring overall well-being of victims of insurgency. The Director General stated this during his maiden assessment of monthly food distribution being carried out by the IDP camp in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Abubakar Mohamed Musa reports.
Koyaushe sun tashi akan namu suna kokari. Mun gode da Allah.
Tun da muka zo anan suna kula da mu, alhamdulillah mun gode Allah.
Mun gode a gwamnatin tarayya tun da ta riga ta hau karaga mulkin nan muna tana mana taimako fiye da yadda ake tsammani.
These are IDPs taking refuge at Bakasi, one of the largest camps in Maiduguri, praising the Director General of NEMA for personally carrying out assessment of monthly food distribution exercise of the agency, in addition to expressing optimism that his visit will go a long way in sustaining the program. Even though the visit of the Director General was primarily to ascertain and verify the level of intervention being provided to IDPs, Mustafa Ahmed Habib maintained that NEMA will continue to provide the basic needs of victims of insurgency despite the high level of food inflation facing the agency.
Getting information directly without coming to ascertain and verify what is on ground will not be complete. I've been getting information in Abuja, but I need to see things for myself.
The Director General and his entourage, who were conducted round by the Northeast Zonal Coordinator of NEMA, Lydia Modu Wagami, later inspected food items at the warehouse of the agency. The NEMA boss is expected to round up his visit with a meeting with state government officials and partners to discuss issues concerning humanitarian activities in Borno. In Maiduguri, Abubakar Mohamed Musa, NTA News.
Suspects who claim to be officials of World Bank defrauding public under the federal government COVID-19 Survival Fund, among other suspects of various crimes, have been arrested in Maiduguri. Parading the 17 suspects, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps NSCDC Borno State Command expressed commitment to rid the state of criminal elements. Paul Nkujevana has details.
4 out of the 17 suspects paraded were arrested defrauding people of 500 naira to access the federal government COVID-19 Survival Fund, and items recovered include micro, small and medium enterprises MSME Survival Fund token cards, 105,000 naira, World Bank official tax, computer, printer and laminating machine.
Da aka rufe abin ne sai mu muka fara yi muka karban 500 a hannun mutane sai mu ce za mu yi musu registration alhalin babu registration din.
Other suspects include theft of 200 trucks loaded in Isuzu pickup, 17 sewing machines and 2 generators, phone snatcher with tricycle, hoodlums, vandalizers, dealer of illicit drugs and black marketers diverting fuel.
What I stole was 6, there were 6 in numbers, but the rest, they just pack it in the place that I'm selling it.
NSCDC State Commandant Musa Farouk Boyi stressed the need for public to report any criminal activities in their domain, as every crime is being planned before execution, and expressed gratitude to the informant that aided the apprehension of some of the suspects.
This is the beginning of the journey. For those that are going to court, we shall proceed by God's grace. Justice to the complainant, justice to the defendant, justice to the community, justice to the whole world.
The suspect arrested with illicit drugs has since been handed over to NDLEA for further profiling, while the remaining will be charged to court accordingly. In Maiduguri, Paul Nkujevana, NTA News.
Nationwide will continue with Obemi in Benin after some messages. Do stay.
The broadcast media ecosystem is dynamic and requires continuous training for practitioners to perform optimally. NTA TV College Jos invites relevant officers to the following specially packaged training programs. Basic Directing Techniques, date 2nd August to 27th August 2021, 4 weeks. New Technologies, Optical Fiber, IP Technologies, Automation Storage Management and Wireless Technology, date 9th August to 13th August 2021, 1 week. Transmitter operation and maintenance. Date 23rd August to 27 August 2021, 1 week. Advanced broadcast accounting and auditing. Date 30th August to 24th September 2021, 4 weeks. Emotional intelligence for workplace efficiency. Date 6th September to 17th September 2021, 2 weeks. The course fee for the 4-week course is 100,000 naira per participant. The fee for the 2-week course is 80,000 naira, while the course fee for the 1-week course is 60,000 naira only. Accommodation inclusive. The venue for all courses is the serene and secure environment of NTA TV College near Old Government House, Rayfield, Jos. For more inquiries, please call 0803-079-53355 or 0806-980-9807. NTA TV College, Jos, training you to be the best you want to be.
Your kids are smart. Your kids are creative. Your kids are business savvy. Now they get a chance to prove it and maybe even start their own business. The goal of the Emerging Africa competition is to raise a new breed of industrialists. Upload a video of your child pitching a business idea or showcasing an existing business to get a chance to enter the 3-week boot camp where final winners will emerge. Admission is free. Age range is 10 to 17 years. Entries open June 28th, 2021 and ends July 17th, 2021. Bootcamp opens August 8th and ends August 28th, 2021. For more information, visit our website www.teacompetition.org, our Facebook page TA Competition, our Instagram The Emerging Africa. For inquiries and sponsorship, call 0803-545-8855 or 0817-678-8284.
No, history is history. So either you know it or you don't.
My advice to the younger generation is that they should learn from what we have started and what we have left.
I did things that ordinarily I should not have been doing. What that meant was that I was working hard.
Whatever assignment you are given in life, put in your best.
The military years were a disaster.
Smoldering effects of all that is what we are trying to cure.
Welcome to Benin. The National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, has cautioned Nigerians to be wary of unverified foreign employment opportunities, as most traffickers use such means to carry out their nefarious activities. The advice came to the fore during a sensitization program held in Akure, Ondo State. Oluwakemi Adeola reports.
The first port of call of the NAPTIP team is at Community Comprehensive High School, Ayediogbese, in Akure North local government area of Ondo State, where students were made to know the types of trafficking and the dangers inherent in them.
Human trafficking, they are really in disguise, and we have learned a lot. The measures in which we can not fall a victim to them, a way which so that we cannot be deceived.
The team also visited the traditional ruler of Ayediogbese, as the chiefs and people of the community were engaged on the need to ensure their children are not involved in child trafficking or labor.
We are satisfied by the level of awareness because from the way people ask questions, we know that they understand what is human trafficking and that they are aware of the ills of human trafficking.
It's to make people proactive and begin to question what is happening around them and be able to report and be their brother's keeper.
I get letter, you say my people, any Peking when he there with us, we must take care of the Peking. Where?
NAPTIP sensitization program was in collaboration with Expertise Friends, and the agency can be reached on this line 627 in case of any report on human trafficking. In Akure, Oluwakemi Ademola, NTA News.
Some parts of Nigeria are already feeling the devastation of perennial flooding as predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency, NIMET. Therefore, residents and authorities in Delta State are on red alert as they plan to overcome the impending disaster. Austin Edemodu tells us more.
Agnes Uduaka, an okra farmer, has earnestly harvested her farm produce in anticipation of flooding, which has been a nightmare in their neighborhood around the bank of the River Niger within the Asaba metropolis.
You see, all our waiting we plant, all of them, water they carry finish. We go come Asaba here, Red House, where we go stay a month and before the water go back, we go back for our camp.
Vulnerable parts of the state in the past have been exposed to perennial flooding, which rendered many homeless with devastating effects on sources of livelihood. This Anwai River, which has clusters of fish farms around it, had posed serious threat to the farmers during the flooding season. However, the remedial measures employed by the state government has opened another challenge to these farmers.
Frequent desitting for the past 2-3 years has made the river very open to carry the water down to River Niger.
Massive drainages like this have been constructed by the Delta State government in strategic places within their Asaba metropolis to tackle the excesses of flooding.
Those within the riverine axis that the water must or will always overflow the axis, already putting plans together with the local government chairman to build the tent vis-a-vis COVID-19 protocol.
Now is the time to act to avoid being caught up by the looming danger of flooding as predicted by NIMET. I'm Austin Edemodu, NTA News.
And that's it from Benin. Nationwide continues with Elizabeth in Abuja.
Thank you so much, Obey, and nice to see you. Now, talking security, troops of Operation Hadinkai and Stop and Search Operation in Damasak, Muna checkpoint in Borno State have arrested several terrorists. The Acting Director of Defense Media Operations, Brigadier General Bernard Onyeko, announced this at the periodic briefing on military operations between 2nd and 15th of July 2021. The armed forces, he noted, have intensified land, sea and air operations across the country to stem criminality.
Some elements of these terrorists were crossing Dama through Maiduguri Road in 3 gun trucks, attacked innocent civilians along their path. After receiving a distress call, Nigerian Air Force Mi-35 helicopter was dispatched to the scene and located the terrorists and engaged them. Gun trucks were destroyed and most of its occupants. Other fleeing terrorists were neutralized by ground troops.
Similarly, troops of Operation Delta Safe on war against economic saboteurs have deactivated an illegal refining site at Egbelebe Jumbo in Rivers State and recovered a stolen storage tank laden with crude oil. In another event, the Italian Defense Staff Policy and Planning Depth Division head is seeking ways to strengthen military cooperation with the Nigerian Army.
We have many items in which, in a reciprocal way, we can improve our cooperation.
We believe that our army, our defense forces, the armed forces of Nigeria will benefit greatly and will be able to overcome all the challenges that are confronting us at this time.
The Nigerian on partnership to further develop its military-industrial complex. ECOWAS is strengthening partnership among member countries to improve domestic tax management for effective value-added tax administration in the region. This was the crux of a 2-day regional seminar held in Abuja on the problems of tax transition. Musa Abubakar reports.
With the decline in tax revenues due to reduction of custom barriers, the free movement of goods and services within the ECOWAS region comes at a high cost for member countries. This seminar under the support program for a fiscal transition framework designed for the benefit of ECOWAS and UEMO commissions is exploring ways to increase resources for member states through effective domestic revenue mobilization.
We are working to mobilize tax revenue and also to ensure that the international standards are implemented in our region. The ECOWAS Commission is proud of the result achieved so far, and also this seminar is also a proof that we are on a good track.
This mission provides an opportunity to have a regional methodology guide for the evaluation of tax expenditures.
The seminar is expected to strengthen fight against fraud, tax evasion, and illicit financial flows. In Abuja, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
Domesticating and implementing the Child's Right Act is the way to go to tackle issues of child marriage in Nigeria. This is a submission of the Ministry of Women Affairs and Development Partners at a session in Abuja to end the menace. Momso Damian Dati reports.
Any marriage before age 18 is now considered child marriage and has become an offense in view of the Child's Right Act.
The girl child has one or the other problem that she encounters.
According to experts, child marriage comes with a baggage of health and emotional challenges for victims.
The girl will not be able to achieve her full potential. There is also a biologic effect that happens to the girl when she attains reproductive process early, including VVF and all those other things.
As a further step in the fight against this scourge, the Ministry of Women Affairs, Ford Foundation, Development Research and Projects Center, other development partners are working on a strategic action plan at ending the scourge.
Once the girl is allowed to complete at least senior secondary school, the problem of early marriage would have been addressed by 80 or 90%. So we are appealing that education of the girl child or of every child is a right that must be done. And we will not rest on our oars until we get all these 36 states fully domesticate the Child's Right Act, and not just domesticating it, but implementing it so that we can have a better and healthier society.
I think there needs to be much more awareness of communities themselves to be able to look and see what they also can do.
Building data consensus for effective action is one of the goals in view. Momso Damian Dati, NTA News.
The Christian Council of Nigeria is championing a week campaign on ending violence against women and children in the country. Kenneth Nanim reports that the Public Enlightenment Program is in line with the UNICEF project under the European Union's Spotlight initiative.
Aged violence is a global phenomenon. This government at various levels, individuals and organizations are not relenting in stemming the ugly trend. Now, the Christian Council of Nigeria is directing attention to the ill as it challenges religious institutions to use the gospel of truth to fight violence, exemplified by Jesus Christ, who gave protection to women and children.
Jesus took little children into his arms and blessed them. Jesus made them the best examples of the kingdom life and insisted that doing good to them attracts the mercies of heaven, and doing evil to them the condemnation of heaven.
The campaign is also aimed at breaking the silence culture and deal with the issues of stigmatization, as well as getting justice for victims.
When I know that when I speak, I will be believed, I will speak. When I know that if I speak, that I will not be judged, because most times we turn the victims into a perpetrator. We are also trying to tell leaders of the church, give protection to a woman who is being abused in her home. You don't tell her go back because the Bible says you should not divorce, and so because of that, go back until she dies.
The religious body also urged citizens to complement government's effort in tackling all forms of insecurity that give rise to violence on women and children. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Into crime prevention, the fight against corruption has taken a greater dimension. This is with the design and launching of an application known as Eagle Eye by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to ease the reporting of fraudulent cases in the country.
The symbol on the nation's financial crime fighter is the eagle. It is perhaps no surprise then when it decides to name its latest weapon to combat financial criminality on a massive scale, the Eagle Eye. It is an app that aids the whistleblower to whistle louder and faster. The Commission wants patriotic Nigerians to help fight crime, not with their fists, but just the tip of the finger. Instant reportage of any anomalies noticed, the EFCC believes will ensure there is no hiding place for corruption in the country. The application is user-friendly. The first step is to install the app to a device from either the Apple or Google Play Store. Take snapshots of the property suspected to have been acquired fraudulently or corruptly. Upload the pictures and report through the app.
Every case is being treated based on the facts in it. We have our own way, modus operandi of determining first and foremost whether or not what you are reporting is within our mandate.
As the EFCC says, the new app will not replace its traditional way of receiving petition. It equally cautions people from malicious usage of the app, as offenders will be prosecuted.
And next is sports updates.